2.
What do we know about this letter here?
The big K, it's not very nice.
So pupils here are taught new words by linking them to bright colours, shapes and stories to help store them in their long-term memories. It's called multisensory learning.
What do we need to do to the little vowels to help them?
CK.
We give it a friend that makes the same sound. So what I'd like you to do, boys and girls, is to make your alphabet with your plastic letters. Now, listen carefully to this one. Tank. Tank.
Oh my God, is it CK? I thought it was just K.
Right. Why did you think it was just K, Cara?
I thought it was just K because the N is there to protect the A.
Exactly. So you're right, it is.
Oh, thank you.
You're absolutely right, don't worry.
Cara's already breaking school rules.
Well, it's definitely got a CK.
You're not whispering in the back row.
No, sorry.
Most dyslexic school children don't get this kind of support. But to come to a school like Shapwick, parents must pay fees or fight for very few state-funded places.
I just know that the normal way of teaching didn't go in for me, and actually now this is it, and it's kind of making me laugh because it's so funny how I know I would have. It just makes sense that it goes in. Because you're learning in this way, you'll be so more advanced than I am.
Will is 10, and like many dyslexics, he also has associated conditions which can make school even harder. He started boarding here 2 years ago, after falling behind and being picked on.
What do you remember finding the most difficult?
Maths.
Oh, I don't like maths either.
And wasn't very good at spelling. And I wasn't very good at reading either. They just made me feel like I was awkward. I wish I could be somebody else. But then when I came to this school, I realised that I want to keep who I am now because I know that I'm not stupid.
What word were you practising, Will?
Pocket.
Pocket.
As part of their English lesson, the children spell out words with physical movements. It helps the words to stick in their long-term memories.
K makes you remember. Shield protecting the K.
The shield protecting the K. Yeah, I like that one. It just goes in, doesn't it?
Yeah.
P-O...
10 years ago, her old school did its best to help her. But for Cara, this way of learning is a revelation.
Pocket. Well done.
And I've just realised today that everything I learned at school wasn't progressive at all. It was just all staggered, and I did used to put my hand up, and I was confident enough in an awkward way to say, I'm sorry, miss, whoever, what did you say again? Or what do you mean? And the teacher's answer was, you should have been listening, Cara. And I remember I didn't hear that once. I heard that over and over and over. And actually the teachers really thought I wasn't paying attention when I was paying 100% attention. And also, you know, I was talking to the teacher today and we said how actually some kids can then go into having behavioural problems because they're told so many times that they weren't listening and they weren't paying attention and they're bad, when actually naughty kids in other schools have come to this school and they're not naughty at all.
On average, 2 to 3 kids in every UK classroom are dyslexic. Will and Cara were fortunate to be diagnosed young. Cara's meeting an older pupil here, whose dyslexia wasn't picked up until his situation got really bad. Oscar is 16. He's severely dyslexic and also has associated conditions. He came to Shapwick after he was diagnosed just 18 months ago. By then, he'd already been in and out of 5 regular schools.
If I was at my old school and you decided to come and talk to me, I'd think I'd probably run away. I didn't talk to people a lot. And I didn't have many friends. I used to be the one that sat at the edge of the playground watching everyone play along and, you know, chat and, you know, oh, they're all laughing and playing. And then it's, oh, he's the weird one because of a siblings, he's the dyslexic one. It's like, he's the weird one, let's move on. I remember the kids sort of saying, oh, yeah, go away, you know, and that sort of thing, to the point where some of them did tell me, you know, why don't you go die? I was a mess myself, because it was teachers would force me into the class, literally. It was 5 teachers, 1 on each leg, 1 on each arm, and 1 teacher telling them where to go. And it was, you know, you must get into the class.
It was almost like just escaping prison, you felt.
That's what it was. It was a prison. It was just it felt like just a wall of words, numbers and people, and it was just trapped. To the extent I tried to get out in a way that I tried to commit suicide. That's how bad it was for me.
Oh my God.
Yeah. The dinner lady stopped me.
Oscar was only 7 at the time, but he didn't harm himself. He found the way through was to get the help he needed. His life has now turned around.
This is the first time I've fitted in. I mean, at my old school, every other lesson, I was stood outside the door.
For being naughty?
For being naughty, well, what they called naughty. And even at my old school, it was get out, you know, get out, get out. And here, I've not been shouted out, you know, for anything like that once. I've not been told to get out. I've not been told I'm stupid. The whole world's gone the right way up. Now I know that I can pass GCSEs. Now I know that now I actually know what sort of thing I want to do as a job, and I know what I want to do in life.
And what do you want?
Well, I want to be a teacher. I want to try and help other kids who were like me.
Oscar's story has made Cara realise how destructive it can be for young dyslexic people if their condition is undetected.
You know, just Oscar going through what he went through is just really quite sad. And, you know, you always think, oh, it's not that bad, but it was really hard. You don't really understand why, because you try, you really try, and yet it just doesn't seem to go in. You know, that's a real lesson to sort of pass on to people who just aren't aware of it. There's one piece of paper that I've been looking for about a week. I can't find it. Oh, see, this is it. This is typical. I've just lost my phone.
Cara's starting to suspect that dyslexia doesn't just disrupt how she reads, but how she organises her whole life.
This is all I do all day. I just look for things that oh, here it is. I literally spend my life looking for things. There's a few questions I need to find out, you know, because I'm a little bit in the dark to where my personality begins and dyslexia ends.
Cara's often at her parents' place, so it's a question her mum's asking too.
My mum.
Perhaps we're blaming the dyslexic onto the way you are.
Yeah, where everything is a problem. Dyslexia! Well, I'm sorry, it's my dyslexia. That's the trouble. I don't know what I can and can't blame it on.
You're so untidy, aren't you? It'd make life easier if you just do little things as you go along, but you don't seem to be able to do those things as you go along, do you?
Oh, look, she's off on one now.
I nag a lot, really, don't I? I do nag about things. But the reason I'm nagging is because I'm trying to help you in a way, because trying to make you more organised.
Well, I feel like I've been hiding any sort of problem in my life. I've just sort of papered across the cracks and pretend...
I think you need routine.
Yes.
When you was in EastEnders, you had a routine.
Yeah, but I've got to work that out, really, because I'm so sick of just not getting anywhere, really, with my organisation.
Cara's own flat is close by to her family's. While it's being renovated, she sees it as a place to escape her difficulties.
I couldn't find my keys.
But her disorganisation seems to follow her wherever she goes.
This is awful, but I just sort of press on a few numbers. Isn't that awful? See who's see who will let me in.
Hello?
Hello, I'm so sorry, I locked myself out.
Would that be Cara?
Yes.
Hello, Cara.
Hey, thank you for letting me in.
You're welcome.
Mwah.
My darling, bye.
Au revoir.
You're searching for something unknown.
Some experts believe dyslexics have stronger visual memories, which can make them more creative than others.
I put the red lid back on the blue thing. If my mum was here right now, she would actually cry. She would just be upset about that red lid on the blue thing. No, that's not got a lid on it.
But for Cara, painting is just her refuge from the constant feeling that she's made a mistake.
There's no correct answer with art, is there? Whereas I guess in all my other subjects there was always a tick or a cross, a right or a wrong. But in art, I think you have to be messy. You can't not be messy. That's the whole point. I just love it and I could do it all day, every day.
In a world full of written information, the words that surround us can be overwhelming for people with this lifelong condition. Catherine Kindersley tests adults to see how dyslexia might be affecting them in everyday life. Cara is meeting her for tests because she wants to know whether dyslexia is shaping the way she copes day to day.
It's funny how everything happens at once. I left my job and then me and my boyfriend are not together and I'm moving flat and you get a bit stressed, can't you, over silly things. Just feeling the most unorganised I've ever felt at the moment. It can make you feel a little bit worried about things, really.
This is going to be a revealing session for Cara. Catherine is going to scrutinise how she copes with the information life bombards us all with. Catherine checks how well Cara can hold on to exact sequences of numbers in her memory by asking her to repeat them back.
3, 1,
4, 2, 3, 7, 1.
This time, I want you to say the numbers backwards.
Oh my goodness. 7, 6, 2, 4.
Colours.
Catherine now tests how quickly and accurately Cara can find the right words to describe the colours and images she sees.
Blue, red, green, black, brown, yellow, red, black, black, brown, yellow, brown, green, red, yellow, star, fish, pencil, key, chair, star, pencil, fish, boat, star, chair, key, chair, boat, fish.
OK, well done.
Cara sails through some of the exercises, but they're about to become more demanding.
I'm going to say 2 words to you, and I'm going to ask you how they are alike. In what way are an anchor...
Today's aim is to reveal Cara's difficulties, but she's now feeling exposed as her ability to describe the meanings of words is tested.
They're alike because they're forms of... My vocabulary is really not good today. I get really frustrated when I'm talking. I can't catch the word I'm wanting to use.
It's just that it doesn't seem to pull out.
Yeah, exactly.
Pull out the right bit of the brain or from the brain when you need it. I'm just going to hear you read aloud.